Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of this English Malarkey. My name's Jake, and we're on the streets of Cambridge actually again, wouldn't you know it, to speak some English with some people so you can see how English is really spoken here on the streets of England and the UK, wherever we are. So today we're talking about quite an important subject. We're talking about mental health. So when the lockdown hit, obviously, that was a tough one to take, and for me personally, I thought there were quite dark days to begin with, and I struggled for the first couple of weeks. But let's go and find out what other people, how they were thinking about the lockdown during that time. So, let's just get to it. Has COVID-19 and the lockdown, just everything to do with it, affected your mental health at all?
I think it's been changeable. So, yes, at first it was very intense for everyone. So, yeah, I think it was did make me feel more anxious than normal at first. But actually, there was a lot of benefits as well. So there was spending more time at home, probably got a better work-life balance than normal, and so work-related stress was probably less than normal.
I don't think we've really had a chance to think about it because obviously we have worked full-time throughout the whole lockdown. It's stressful, but what can you do?
Yes, so I have had a flat in London myself, but I've been having to go back home quite frequently between Bedford and Cambridge, where my family live there quite regularly because I needed support from them in terms of finding new jobs. And my other two friends had kept their jobs in my flat, so they were still working, not even on furlough really, so they were fine. So that would have been probably detrimental to my mental health if I'd stayed there and they were working and I'd just been in this relatively small flat for the circumstances. So.
Of course. And has lockdown had an effect on either of yours mental health at all?
For sure. It's becoming quite frustrating now, and because there's so many different rules, but they don't really meet. It doesn't really make sense. I think everybody's getting a bit confused of really what's going on. Really, I mean, obviously it's affecting. We like to travel, and we can't travel at the moment. It's just a very tough time to go through at the moment. It's very odd, and the worrying thing is for people who are losing their jobs. You know, it's just that's really, really concerning. It has affected us for sure.
Again, I work in transport. We've not stopped. Everything's been open. We've got quieter. Apart from that, life for me has been the exact same. So I still get up to do my shifts, and the same people still come through to talk to me. So
So it's like, is that logistics?
No, I work for the railway.
Okay, brilliant, nice one. So obviously it carried on, didn't it?
Yeah.
And yourself, what?
I work for a charity, Citizens Advice.
Okay.
So obviously at this time people still need advice on benefits, employment and things like that. So we've been busier more than ever.
I was going to say, surely they need more advice.
So it is stressful, but I think that keeps you going.
Has lockdown had an effect on your mental health?
I'll get first, that's all right, because we talk about this quite a bit at work, so we've sort of worked throughout. I think what we've really struggled with is that whole sort of feeling locked in almost. You know, you don't leave the house, you're trapped within four walls all the time. Even though you're having conversations with people via Skype and social media and that, it's not the same as that human interaction that you get. It has been challenging, but I feel like if you're aware of it, it helps you. You know, if you know you need to keep an eye on the fact that you do need to see people outside of the four walls that you're in, that would be what I'd say.
I think it's been quite good in a lot of ways because I got to spend lots of time with my family and at home, but it was also hard because I didn't get to see lots of friends. But there was also time spent outside, which is always good for mental health, so that was good as well.
Do you feel like COVID-19 has affected your mental health?
To be honest, not really, but I know people that can affect, being on lockdown for many days, weeks and months, it can affect your mental health.
Yeah.
To me, it was okay, but I know people that have been affected by COVID-19.
Okay.
Because it disrupts all your routine, Mm-hmm. I did lose my job. I'm a chef.
Okay.
So I was working this hotel, when the lockdown came in, they just said we don't need you anymore, so it could affect your mental health.
But it sounds like, it's all going quite well for you?
Yeah, I think I'm lucky. I've got a job. I've got money coming in from a job, and my family have remained well. So I think I'm, quite lucky, and I'm mindful of that situation. And not everyone's in that situation. So
when you work from home, I think that's the hardest thing, switching off. Because you're not going to work anymore. You're staying in one place, and then you're working, and then you get down from the table, and then you look at the table and think, oh my God, that's where I work now.
Yep.
So it's switching off from
It's not a long commute anymore.
No.
For me, pretty much okay throughout, but I was furloughed for 2 months.
Okay.
By the end of that, I was getting very, how would you describe it? I was just bored. Cabin fever, yeah. Just needed something to do, needed to get out. So I'd say in that sense, yeah, but like we're not predisposed to have those sorts of issues. So I think, we were able to stay on top of it, but yeah.
So the same. For us, we are traveled people, and all the time we're just thinking like, what are we gonna do? And we just try to find online all the information. It looks like it's not exist, so it's very confused. And yeah, of course, this is affect to all of us. It's like two different realities. One is the telephones, the news, the media, and the other one is just walking around to see the people just, looks like normal with that social distance. But some people it's like, just walking together, don't care. So yeah, I think this time is so hard to really understand what reality is.
So in general, it has been a very, very interesting time. I have had some poor mental health conditions in the past, so I wondered if that was going to have impacted quite badly throughout COVID. But actually I've had some really, really supportive people around me, such as my direct family, and then my boyfriend, who has been the most supportive person I could have ever had in my life. So he's really, really kept me going throughout these times when I got made redundant, unfortunately, due to COVID. And so him being there has really, really helped me move forward day by day to get to the next stage. And we've been looking after each other, both through health, mental and physical, and it's been getting us to really quite good places in the end, to be honest with you.
Good, that's really good to hear. What helped you to cope then? It seems like you coped quite well.
I think speaking to friends regularly, so having regular Zoom chats, and I've got a lot of friends that don't live in the same city as me, so speaking to them regularly was actually a bonus, because normally I wouldn't be able to see them so much. And also just reducing where I got my news from and how much. So like I was really conscious to not watch the news all day, because it felt like it wasn't news, it was just a bit sensationalist in the end.
Yeah. Did you have each other, so you were in the same place kind of thing?
For most of the time,
a period of time, I think so. When we were in the sort of most serious part of the lockdown, we moved in together so that we could sort of go through that, and then when things relaxed, so did we, sort of thing. So yeah.
I did lose my job, for COVID-19.
But then you were okay, like mentally?
Mentally, yeah. I mean, I cope. I try to be focused. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Netflix, to be honest with you, like a million of people around the world. So, but yeah, it can affect you.
We've had a good summer as well, so.
We have, yes. The last couple of weeks have been a little bit wet, but before that, lots of good weather.
To be fair, where were you in the last few weeks?
Scotland.
Yeah, okay. It was a bit wet here in Cambridge too, but
yeah, okay.
That's nice. So thank you for watching today's episode of this English Malarkey, where we've been talking about the effect of the lockdown on people's mental health. I hope you guys have been doing okay through it as well. So yeah, thanks again. There'll be some things for you to click on around here, so just do that. And remember, you've got this English Malarkey. Lads. And in front of this. Thank you. Let's see what's happening.
The glass or without?
With. Because it's a nice day.
Yeah.
Today I'm in Cambridge. We're on Parker's Piece. I don't know how much of it you can see behind me, because it might be blurred out.